High Achiever in SPM, Introduction to New SPM Format, Speaking 1119, Paper 3. Types of item, limited subjective responses, open-ended subjective responses. Speaking test is conducted in a pair format. Amount of marks, 20 marks. Duration of the test, 12 minutes approximately. Target level, CEFR B1 to B2. Marking, analytical and holistic. Amount of questions, Part 1, 4 questions. Part 2, 1 question for each candidate. Part 3, 2 questions for 2 candidates. Types of questions: interview, individual long-term, discussion. Part 1, interview. There are 4 questions. The question for this part will not appear in the candidate's booklet. They will be given verbally by the interlocutor. Time allocation is 3 to 4 minutes. Here is the question. Phase 1. Good morning. I'm Miss Kong and this is my colleague, Jay Shikin. She just listened to us. First of all, we'd like to know something about you. What's your name? Thank you. And what's your name? Thank you. Where do you come from? What is your favorite subject in school? Thank you. Now, I'm going to ask you about your favorite food. What is your favorite food? Who cooks your favorite food best? Do you know how to cook your favorite food? What type of food can you cook? Which restaurant do you like to eat at? Where do you go to eat delicious food? Thank you. Italic fonts are for the interlocutor only, and they represent actions that the interlocutor needs to do. Part 2 is individual long term. There is 1 question for each candidate. Here is the example of the question. Instruction will be given by the interlocutor. In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it on your own for about a minute. You also need to answer a question briefly about your partner's topic. Candidate A, it's your turn first. Here is your task. A memorable outing. Talk about a memorable outing. You should where the outing was, what you did there, who did you go there with, what made the outing memorable. I'd like you to talk about a memorable outing. First, you have some time to think about what you are going to say. Alright, you may start now. The backup prompts to be used if only necessary. For example, what can you say about this point? Tell me about. Thank you. Candidate B, do you remember an outing you enjoyed? Why did you enjoy it? Thank you, Candidate A. Can I have the booklet, please? Part 2, Candidate Booklet. Your favorite movie. Talk about your favorite movie. You should. What the movie is about. When you first watch it. What makes it your favorite movie? Would you recommend this movie to your family and friends? Now, candidate B, here's your task. I'd like you to talk about your favorite movie. First, you have some time to think about what you're going to say. Alright, you may start now. Backup prompts are used only when necessary. For example, tell me about this movie. Thank you. Candidate A, what is a movie you love to watch? Why do you love it? Thank you, Candidate B. Can I have the booklet, please? Part 3 is long discussion. There are 2 questions for 2 candidates. Talk about the given topic with your partner for about 3 minutes. There are 2 parts. In the first phase, you will discuss something with each other for about 2 minutes. Then, in the second phase, you will have 1 minute to make a decision together. Here is the example of question. Now, I'd like you to talk about something together for about 3 minutes. The task will have 2 parts. In the first part, you will discuss something with each other for about 2 minutes. Then in the second part, you will have another minute to make a decision together. Alright, we'll begin with the discussion. Now, it is important to know how to manage your time well to have a well-balanced life. Here are some ways to manage time and a question for you to discuss. First, you have some time to look at the task. Now, talk to each other about the ways to manage time. What do you think, Candidate A? What about this? Thank you. Now, you have 1 minute to decide which is the most effective way to manage time. Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? You have been talking about the ways to manage time. Do you think managing time will reduce stress? Select any of the following prompts as appropriate. What do you think? Do you agree? How about you? Thank you. That's the end of the speaking test. Tips for speaking. Part 1. Answer the question in full sentences. For example, what is your name? My name is Jimmy. Tips for speaking. Part 2. Individual long term. Make sure to understand the topic given. Answer the question about the given topic. Plan your answers for about 1 minute. Elaborate, give examples, reasons. Use some uncommon words. Part 2. For example, the topic is memorable outing. And the given points are where the outing was, what you did there, who did you go there with, what makes the outing memorable. This is the example of speaking. Tips for speaking. Part 2. Individual long term. What is the movie you love to watch? I love to watch Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. The storyline is unpredictable and I find it exciting without any gore. I dislike bloody, disgusting, mindless killing movies, so this one does not have that. Tips for speaking. Part 3. Phase 1. Make sure to understand the topic and points. Talk about all the points. Take turns to talk about the points. Elaborate about the points or give examples. Use some uncommon words. Tips for speaking. Part 3, discussion, phase 1. Here are some examples of useful phrases that you can use. Tips for speaking, part 3, phase 2, which is 1 minute. Talk about your choice. Give reason for your choice. In my opinion, I think it's the most suitable because